Oh, was I muted? Sorry, everyone. Hello, everyone. I hope you're well. I hope everything's good. I fear that I've got myself trapped in a situation where the pre-stream's now probably the best bit. I've always felt that was my destiny. Just to have a good pre-stream and then like people sort of tune out when this bit happens. Did you miss a good segment? No, I'm just repeating it word for word, really. I hope you're all well. Hope everything's, peachy with you. What are people hoping for from the stream? Should we have an argument? How much confrontation do you want in this stream? You like stuff? I like anticipation, yeah. I dream really big, but then obviously the reality of whatever I've been anticipating can't live up to it. I'm not disappointed though. I like to dream really huge. No, not edging. It's more like, I mean, this is maybe a bit too vulgar, but it's a bit like when you come, but it's not very good. And you're like, oh, here we go. And it's just not, it's probably the worst bit. I don't want to be gross, but like sometimes that happens. Sometimes I do actually think probably that the key to, I don't think coming should be the best bit. I think probably if you can get outside of that mindset, putting too much pressure on the act of coming, I think the worst thing you could do. You got to clock in sometimes. Just enjoy. Coming's not a vibe, is it? The journey is. Sure, misunderstood the phrase bust a nut. I mixed it up with bust a gut. I thought bust a nut meant to exert yourself, such as when you're carrying a couch up a flight of stairs. I don't think it matters though. The letdown come. It happens. We're all adults here. Look, it's nothing's ideal all of the time. Some comes are better than others, to be fair. Yeah, and some comes suck. Some comes fucking suck. That's life. That's life. I think happiness is just accepting and understanding the world holistically. Is this what you were talking about when you were muted? No, sadly. Probably I should mute myself again. Let's see. Should we move on? How much confrontation do people want in the stream? Do people want I should do this at the beginning of every stream, of being like, are we going to get on or are we going to fall out? Like, what do people want? There should be like a spectrum here, sort of mutual accord on this side. Very confrontational, maximum confrontation. What do you want? I live to serve. I live to serve. The reason it's not clear that I only turn the webcam on to supplicate myself for your whims is that I believe you want to have an argument, and so I always appear as an aggressor towards you, which makes me sound very like either dominant or free-spirited in the discussion, whereas actually I see myself as low status, reluctantly getting into scraps because I think it makes you happy. The cum spectrum? Okay, 110% aggro. I don't think I have that in me, actually. I probably can't give you above 60%. I'm a gentle soul at heart. Sean is the service top. Can we just stop talking about sex? Can we just... Where's this coming from? You guys are gross. You guys are fucked up. I only brought up sex to make an analogy about how to enjoy life. You must enjoy anticipation for its own sake, because reality will let you down. That sounds really nihilistic and pessimistic. I just mean, it's better to build things up in your head and accept they won't be as good as you've imagined them, but you had the fun of imagining, and then you had something that was fine. It's something that was okay. And I mean that for all things in life, not just, What else? What else has gone on? I saw a guy on a barge. I went to go see a barge. I hurt my back vigorously trying to scooch this office chair over quite a lumpy rug. I've pulled a muscle in my lower back. Don't smile because it's over, cry because it happened. No, just be moderately fine. Be moderately entertained by all of life's little pleasures. Yeah, we went to go and see a guy at Rick Mail Comedy Festival who advertised himself as like a famous actor of the stage and screen. And his TV credits seem to mostly include advertisements and being on like soap operas as a character with just a first name who maybe appears in it for like, well, let's just put it this way. He uploads every TV appearance to YouTube, and none of his YouTube videos are longer than like a minute and a half. So he doesn't get a lot of exposure. He's pretty good. He was pretty good. He was kind of holistically very interesting, but I wonder if I can pin down. I mean, the most pin downable thing about him was his wonderful car. I'll show you a picture of his wonderful car, because I think I've got one where I've diligently scrubbed out his license plate. Yeah, I can show a non-license plated car. This was his car, and just quite fascinatingly, he's put like loads, every picture of everything he's ever done. And on the corners of the car, it says ITV, Netflix, BBC, and YouTube. And underneath his license plate, it says comedy actor. And it also says Olivia Award. Can you do stuff with license plate info? I don't even need to find out if I do this. Did you get the show you hoped for? We had to sit really near the front. And also, I didn't like that we had to sort of escape halfway through. The show was supposed to be on for 50 minutes. It had been advertised as a 50-minute show. And at 1 hour, he said, I'm going to call an interval and then we'll come back and do another half hour. And I wasn't going to do another half hour. The show was his entire life story. Well, I guess his career story. And an elderly woman would come and read like a script thing of being like, from the earliest age, Anthony was one of the most talented boys in the school. And he'd say, thanks, Tiffany. And then he'd sing a song, and then he'd expound a little bit more about his own life and times. And then she'd get back out of her like sort of a deck chair. And she'd then go, yes. And then he went to join the youth theatre where he met Daniel Day-Lewis. He goes, yeah, I did meet Daniel Day-Lewis. And then he sings a song. And then he tells a lot of pub jokes while slapping my mate on the shoulder really hard. I think he had a certain professionalism to him. So we believed part of the appeal was that the barge... did I know that I was a sweet guy? Do we know each other, Daniel Tutu? I don't know if you have license to tell me if I'm sweet. How would you know? She was so polite in her reading. Well, it's easy to be polite about someone if you're reading a script they've written about their own life. Oh yeah, there was the barge didn't move. It stayed permanently moored. And there were some goths who were quite drunk smoking cigarettes on a little grass verge on the bank. And at one point, someone else approached them and went, what's going on in that boat there? And they said, louder than normal room volume, it's supposed to be comedy, but it's shit. And then our man here, the boat guy, had to open one of the little train bus style little flap windows and go, excuse me, if you want to join in with one of the songs, that's fine, but otherwise, can you show some respect? And then he just shut it again. And one of the old guys, there was only an audience of about 14 people, and he said, Yeah, too right. Yeah, yeah. I also want to say, yeah, that the barge seated 12. And even though we had all bought tickets in advance, they didn't have enough seats and some of us had to stand in the barge. So yeah, it was like stretched 40 minutes over its advertised runtime, and tickets don't entitle you to a seat. So pretty good. Honestly, across every vector, the show's pretty good. Even down to the logistics of how to get into and what you can sit on. Should we cover the punch? I feel like it's looming large. I feel like Killian's here to try and discuss the punch. Well, yeah, and it would rock even more when he'd do some impromptu tap dancing and then the boat would start swaying. And because the average audience member was like 62, he'd just stop to like preserve their well-being. What is there to say, really? On Saturday, I punched Killian in the head. A few weeks ago, I was saying that everyone should probably get punched at least once, just because I think it probably benefits your personality. And Killian was saying, "Oh, I've never been punched," and we ran a poll to say who should punch Killian, and I won the poll. I say won. I feel like I was foisted into a position I didn't ask to be in. Yeah, I am gentle, yeah. But no, I said, didn't I ultimately say, Dragon, that I just give people what they want? And what people want from me, for some reason, is violence and aggression. And in that sense, to draw a hard boundary and say, I won't be violent or aggressive, wouldn't be gentle. It would, in fact, be genuine aggression. Whereas saying, okay, I'll be aggressive to make you happy, that's actually like sort of little mouse behavior. I suppose that follows. Thanks, Dragon. You came on a little journey with me, but I'm glad we've landed in the same place. No one's perfect, SK, not even Killian. And that's never been more apparent than post-punch Killian glow-up. Could you feed you into industrial shredder? I don't know if we could sign a waiver that would get me away from legal action if I dismantled your body using industrial apparatus. This, I feel like I can. We did sign a legal waiver, and there was a witness, and there was a seal put on the document. Now, the only problem with that, which I felt was to help me escape any possible legal liability I had for punching someone in the head, is that I don't have that document or know where it is. And if the police came to my door, I wouldn't be able to produce anything. So what's happened? Killian asked me to punch them in the head, and I did last Saturday. Here's 3 angles of it. Oh, Raiders are here. People shouldn't stay silent in this. I'm not being silent. I'm going over it in detail. Hello, Raiders. Welcome, a good Pete. I wouldn't say a thug. I'm only doing as I'm asked. I'm only trying to help the community. I'm trying to give back. Please join me in following... Hang on, where? Please join me in following a good Pete, whose link can be found... Well, I don't know where it is relative to you. If you're a mobile, I guess it's down there, but for me, it's up here because of how I arrange my OBS windows. Sean's a service brute. I wouldn't call me that. I wouldn't call me that. I'd also ask you not to call me that. Don't call me that. I think it sounds bad. I'm sort of a kindly ogre, maybe. I'm sort of a northern Shrek. Service ogre? Yeah, maybe. But punching someone feels pretty thug? No, I'm like a gentleman boxer, actually. How do you see it? You were a mafia debt collector in your past life? No, I would have been Robin Hood. I would have been a sort of Robin Hood figure. Except sometimes, as well as robbing from the rich to help the poor, sometimes the poor's like, I wonder what it's like to be robbed. And I go, I can help you with that. I'm the #1 guy. What's happened? We've covered it, haven't we, Red? What's not been explained to your satisfaction? Shall I find the clip? I think the clip was posted. I can find the clip. Hang on, let me find the clip. Where is the clip? I'm just going to search punch into the Discord and hope that something will, at some point, clear that up. Big punch has been said quite a lot recently. No, I don't know. There is a clip somewhere of me saying it's good to get punched at least once. Okay, Killian. Killian, can you say hand on heart? This was a punch. This was a genuine punch. Because Albert will never believe a word I say. But Albert doesn't have anything against you. No, I don't want to play the clip. I think it's more exciting to see the still and to see the motion blur. It's hard to simply... No one's asking you to ignore it, Red. I'm showing it to you. We're talking about it. Look, we should put the punch away. It's about to become controversial. I thought this was just going to be an act of mutually consensual, premeditated violence that we could all just observe, say, fine, and then move on from. I don't know why it needs to be controversial. I've had a description that led me to believe it was not a real punch. Okay, Bread Santa, I'm going to need a full rundown. Bread Santa, can you come into the Discord, please? I want to hear from your own mouth what it was you've been told. Because Albert's going to jump on this. I'm going to make a... Are you available just to quickly come into a voice chat with me? I've just made a channel called The Punch Hole. And if you'd like to give me a full account, I'd love to hear what you've been told, because it sounds like someone's spreading shit.
Hiya.
Hi, Bread Santa. Can I just check everyone can hear Bread? And also, could you say something more, Bread, to check?
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's coming through nicely.
All right, it sounds.
Yeah, go on.
The description I was provided.
By who?
I am protecting my sources.
Oh, okay. Very helpful. Okay.
I am not willing to divulge the witness who gave me this description.
Becca.
But it was that the majority of the force was exerted after contact had been made. So there's not a motion of a swing with a continuous force until contact be made, rather a push with a fist.
It was Becca, wasn't it?
That is... Yeah.
Okay. I just knew it. I don't know how. I just know it. Sometimes, most of the time, I seem way off target, but I'm a good read on people. I knew it. I knew it was. Okay, Becky, you really need to think. How did I know it was you, given just the quantity of people in that room? Okay, so you're drawing some kind of... It's almost like a fantastical distinction to me. What's it? A punch?
If you'd done that to me,
yeah,
I wouldn't describe that as I have been punched.
What would you say?
I would describe that as being shoved.
Right. And so if I did that to you with a car, you wouldn't say I was hit by a car. You'd say I've been pushed by a car, would you?
Well, if I was making contact with the car and then you started the ignition, I think it would be hard pushed to say I was hit by that car.
So you think, let's call it what it is. It's a kind of a conspiracy theory, which is that I approached Killian and I just put my fist against the head and then started pushing.
As we said, I wasn't present. I can only go off what I have been told.
Yeah, that's
But
important.
I was told that there was a clear, 2 phases in your motion.
A biphasic punch.
Yeah.
Becca, are you free to join this? Because I feel like now that we know you're the one talking shit, now that breading sauces haven't been protected at all, it does seem like the real cause for concern might be Becca's poor angle, shall we say? And when was this conversation about my two-phase punch, please?
It's honestly, it's very difficult to tell. You know,
Yeah.
at some point between now and it happening, certainly.
Now, since we're talking about secondary and primary sources, it's useful to ask this question. What would motivate someone like Becca, not necessarily her, but someone like her, to discredit the punch?
I don't, you know, I have no reason to believe Becca would have a motive other than just to, you know,
Stir shit
share.
up. Yeah, stir the pot.
I don't think stir shit up. I just think sort of share perspective on things.
Right. So it would be better. Let's say there was a biphasic punch. Let's humour this.
Okay.
Why might that have happened? Why might someone have done that?
I don't know. Maybe if someone has found themselves sort of backed into a corner where they were having to punch someone who didn't want to do it.
Can I tell you something about something that this photo doesn't tell you?
Yeah.
This was at Josie Stripe's birthday party, and I didn't know most of the people there.
Yeah.
But they all knew Killian.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, I've just seen that Gregor's joined the chat.
Yeah, he's put me on interview. Hello.
Aren't you eating your dinner?
Yes. It's nice.
Yeah, what you having?
Oh, what's for dinner?
I've got some pasta. It's got some Brussels sprouts, leeks, onions, bit of sausage, and a sort of a cheesy, garlicky sauce.
Okay. So I've heard you've been stirring the pot a little bit.
Well, I didn't intend to stir the pot.
Okay.
And I don't think that it wasn't a real punch. I think it was very much a real punch. Killian.
Yeah, I think it is. It was that.
Okay.
Becca described the punch to me. I have interpreted that as not a punch. Becca didn't come to me saying, "This is all a sham."
So
it's not a sham.
I think it's a sham. That is my opinion and my opinion alone.
Buzz Josie, who's just joined the chat, I just want to explain. People are questioning the legitimacy of the punch. Now, I'm also in a confusing state where it seems like someone who believes the punch was legitimate and did see the punch in person has communicated a description of the punch to a secondary party who wasn't there, who then says that's not a real punch. And that's a sort of confusing where that signal loss has come through, to be honest.
I think the most important opinion on the punch is that of Killian. Killian's opinion matters the most.
Would you?
I do want to be clear. I'm not advocating for it to happen again.
And harder, it sounds like, as well.
You know, I think, okay, it can be waves off now. But deep in my core, I don't believe that's a real punch.
Okay, let's put it this way, Red Santa.
Yeah.
What would you have done? You'd have punched as hard as you could in a continuous motion, would you?
I wouldn't necessarily have gone as hard as I could, but it would it would have been a sort of continuous motion with follow through. You know, I'd have rotated my hips. You know, but I think what I would try to do is avoid making statements that put me in that situation.
And you think that's what I did? You think it's my fault I had to punch Killian?
Well, I mean, I don't think you're without fault in this.
What do you mean?
Well, you know,
You've got opinions on a lot of things here.
well, you know,
Talk me through
How
my
did
great
it
crime here.
you know, well, how does this series of events come to pass without like
So-
the active involvement of you?
Sometimes things just coalesce mysteriously. There's a bit of. You ever heard of chaos theory? A butterfly flaps its wings. You can trace things back and back and back. It will go back to the Holy Roman Empire, you know? You think you've got causation caught in a little snow globe that you can hold in your hands and turn around like a Rubik's Cube. It's kind of mysterious how these things happen.
Do we need to go back to the tape? Do we need to see how this sort of unfolded?
You are not going to find a clip of me saying, I want to punch Killian. I just talked about punching in the abstract and the benefits of being punched. And from there, things got away from me. But you can't say I was pushing in that direction. I got pushed into that situation.
Okay, if I went down Tesco's, right, and I've got a pig with me, and then the pig gets loose, I'm to blame for that.
I'd let you off. Are you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I should be like, you know, sent to prison for it. But I do think, like, if we're asking the question who bears responsibility, that probably does fall on me in that situation.
Well, you know, in the Dark Ages, they put pigs on traps.
Start talking about animal traps.
Well, because this whole idea that a pig can't be held morally responsible for its crimes, it's quite modern, actually. I'd say the pig knows what it's doing.
I don't know.
Here's the thing. I was pushed into the position of a provider of a service that I don't normally provide. And my client said that I did it to their satisfaction. Now, let's say I was to paint someone a painting of a horse, and you look at it and you go, that's not a horse. But my client who wanted the painting goes, that's a beautiful horse. Surely that's all that matters.
Well, I mean, I don't know if, like, you know, I think it's fair to sort of interrogate and criticize something outside of the perception of, like, the person it was made for, you know? I can have opinions on the architecture of the Taj Mahal without being that bloke's dead wife, you know?
Killian, are you willing to get punched again?
I'm not. Do not punch Killian.
No, I'm not going to punch Killian. It's someone else
doing
who's
another
talking
thing, are you?
really big about what they do. I'd just like to see if they can put their money where their mouth is. If someone
not
else
going
willing
to
to put
punch
their
you.
mouth where your money is.
But I don't want to punch anyone.
What, you think I did?
have
Sorry.
indeed to deserve it.
Do you think I do want to punch someone? Do you think I saw started if I wanted to punch someone? Killian
I
is
think
willing to get
you-
punched again. Killian is willing to get punched again.
I don't want to punch Killian.
I didn't want to punch Killian. Sorry, Killian. This
But,
is for my reputation.
Is Brady
I've
aware
got-
that Killian then punched you?
Yeah.
Does it make any difference if Killian then punched me and we took a bow like it was the end of a play? But even though it was real, it was like a bow at the end of a boxing
Oh,
match.
At the end of a play, was it?
Well, it's like a bow at the end of a boxing match. I think that happens sometimes. If both,
I think that happens sometimes.
yeah, not
Yeah,
in
but they don't need to pick the guy.
not in the European leagues, obviously.
Oh, just give me 1 second. I've just got to do something. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, get any knuckle dusters out?
No, I just put a 2 in the chat.
Right.
Does
sure.
Killian consent to this?
Yeah, Killian said, "I am willing to get punched again." It's not like enthusiastic consent, but it's enough to get us to the finish line.
I mean, even if Killian was enthusiastic, I would be. I don't really think I'd want to punch him.
But nevertheless, if you did, you'd rotate your hips and follow through. That's what you're saying. In a thing,
Yes.
in a world where
Part of my
something happened that
unwillingness.
you'd never do.
Yeah.
The thing is, if positions are reversed, I'd be saying the same thing as you. But I think in the moment when you're looking at Killian's head and you think this person's done nothing wrong and they'll shatter like a pear, you would do a biphasic punch.
I don't think I would, and I think that is why I would be so afraid to commit to it ahead of time. I know, me and some of my friends used to fight in the woods when we were teenagers, and I always had a very hard time pulling any punches.
Yeah, but that's with your woodland mates.
Well, they didn't live in the woods. We just used to go into the woods because,
But you know that Killian's not fighting in the woods. Killian's like a little button badge.
Killian is a woodland friend. He's recently been really into iNaturalist, no?
Yeah.
So he's a woodland friend.
Yeah, sorry. A heavy iNaturalist user does not a pugilist make.
But it's not about strength. It's about my inability to provide any sort of regulation to it. It is just being a one speed.
So
puncher.
you're saying you just are unable to regulate your strength when punching.
I am saying that historically I've had difficulties with that.
Mm. And is it because of a desire to inflict pain?
I don't know. You just sort of. I think there's something sort of quite evocative about punching.
As the person who's most recently punched, I agree.
Mm. Do we have anyone in chat as well as to call in who's thrown a real punch recently?
Oh, it's not even a punch now. It's not even a punch. You've gone from biphasic punch to now it's something else. Now it's just some other kind of thing. Some kind of fist push. There isn't even a word for what you're calling my punch. You've got to invent a new category to denigrate me. Pushing, yeah, I pushed.
It's one of the oldest words, probably.
Push? Sounds
Yeah,
modern.
It's probably
Sounds modern. Push etymology.
I think it started with the boats.
Comes from Middle French. Pousser, which means to push. Oh, in fact, actually, ultimately from Latin, pulsare, meaning to beat or strike. Wow.
Oh, no.
Very interesting.
I would never say you didn't strike, Kenny. It was a strike. I will acknowledge that.
Right. It sounds to me that your issue really, if we were to continue to hash it out, and I don't think we should,
Yeah.
isn't that I made a bad decision on the day. It's that I made a bad decision a few weeks earlier, and then I had my comeuppance.
Yes. Yes. Yes, in the abstract, you allowed yourself to sort of be rhetorically put into a corner where you
And so-
found yourself at a party
And so you
expecting to punch Killian.
think the world would be better if I never did the biphasic punch and we never had this little adventure and we never got to have this conversation and Killian never got to be happy.
But did I say that?
Well, that's what it sounds like. I'm just trying to get to the end point of your argument.
No, the beginning and the end is just on the definition of the word punch and the way that it's used.
Right.
And I don't think it's applicable in this context.
Right, so I didn't punch. What I pushed.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. Well, let's just see what everyone else thinks, and I'll abide by that. I'll just abide by what people think. Did I push or punch Killian? 1 for push, 2 for punch. Okay. You can vote, Brady. I'm going to vote.
All right, okay.
Wow. Remember when it was neck and neck only 6 votes ago? Oh, wait, I voted push
Yeah.
by accident. Can I take that back? Okay, you have to imagine one more vote for punch than there was. Just
Do
mentally. add
we
one
need
more.
to continue?
No. Sorry, Killian, you've still never been punched. I'm sorry, I let you down. We could have been happy. We could have all just moved on.
You know, as I said, I've got no objection to the parties involved believing that that's a punch. You just will never convince me it was.
I'm not convinced by this whole, oh, I'm happy for you all to be wrong and live in your own hallucinatory little world. I don't mind that. No, that's not that's not how you find a consensus. I'm happy for you to be insane.
Well, maybe that is how you find a consensus.
I mean,
Maybe that needs to be the starting point of all efforts to find a consensus.
listen. I spent the entire day sort of thinking I wouldn't be called upon to punch Killian in the head. But then people kept reminding me and they kept looking at me. I didn't even remember there was a time set to it. Everyone was like, oh, 8 o'clock. And I'm like, oh, 8 o'clock, I've got to punch Killian in the head. And there was no way out of it. And then when we stood in the living room, loads of people, like Josie's friends and neighbors, were like, what's happening? And they were saying, this large man is going to punch Killian in the head. And then people were saying, why? And then everyone else was sort of shrugging. And I had to, yes, you're right. My back was against the wall. And I had to go through the eye of a needle. But I did. I went right through the eye of the needle. I did it just right. It was perfect. Any less, and it would have been nothing. Any more, and there would have been trouble. It was perfect. That day, I flew. And just because you're there saying, I'd have hit Killian in the head with a big hammer until they were dead, we can all paint a picture in our heads of what we do in a difficult scenario. I was really there, mate. I really lived it. I had to punch someone's friend who is half my size and get out of that house alive. And I would say, because it was a mutualist punching incident. We got a standing ovation, mostly because just people had to be stood up. But nevertheless, it was one of the best nights of my life. And you can't take that away from me because you used to batter your mates in the woods.
I was getting battered a lot more often than battering, to be honest. I was always a very attritional fighter.
Right, yeah. Your job's just to outlast your mates.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, we're on 20 votes. Hang on, we're on 20 votes. And I misvoted, but 21 vote out of 20 would be 5%. So if I voted correctly, this would be a draw. So it is a draw.
Like you say it's a draw, but it says 55-45.
But you know I misvoted for push when I meant punch, which means it would be 50-50. So it is 50-50 because you know what I would have voted.
But it says 55.
Never mind. It's 57. There's a man. Never mind. Never mind. All right. Thanks so much for your help, Bread Santa. It was great to cover this in so much detail.
All right, bye.
See you next time. Okay, so that's the punch. Thank you very much to Bread Santa. Thank you to Grugru. And I guess thank you to Becca. I don't know. So sort of thank you for, but I feel like you could have framed it better. I feel like you've been talking shit. I think it's now illegal to refer to it as the punch. There was a referendum. I've misvoted. And then Dragon only voted that way for the punchline. But that's not, you know what I mean? People are playing up their votes. Okay, what's next? Should we just play a round of When Taken? No, who cares? Let's just check what Mark Dolan's up to. We don't have time for the dulls. Punching took ages. And honestly, no one's here being like, oh, I hope I get to see a round of When Taken. There's no shot. Do we want, and it will probably be both, so I don't know why I'm asking, but do we want to watch a bit more of Mark Dolan stand-up, or do we want to watch a bit more of Mark Dolan talking about the royal family? I think everything we need. Why can't you see this? Oh, because this is still the More Vision background. This isn't my normal background. It's the different wallpaper. Here we go. Here he is. Royals, trans people. He might talk about trans people while discussing the royals. Do you think we're going to get an yikes?
Going on with that weird bruise on the face? What is going on with that weird?
Where's the yikes?
Bruise on the face of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. There are no journalists willing to delve into this, but I think we need answers. This is a guy who is utterly disgraced. His alleged crimes, which he denies.
This is boring. He hasn't even said yikes.
A massive, huge bruise. Useful to them.
Where's yikes?
Choose Phillips Cafe Aromas.
No. What about his latest one? Here we go.
Yikes, Harry in a dark place.
Let's just watch the beginning of everything.
Yikes, Harry's desperate move. This is unforgivable.
Yeah, it's best at the beginning.
Yikes, Meghan and Harry's secret plot to re-enter the...
I'd love to just see him doing this in the wild, just stood in the rain saying, yikes. He looks like a villain from the Beano.
Royal family, and be afraid, folks, because this time they are working together I've got the inside story.
Do you like how he's kind of screaming, even though he's got a lapel mic? Like he's being really loud for someone with a lapel on.
But first, Prince Harry's jealous rage. One of the finest royal biographers in the world, Andrew Morton.
Why do this in public? Now, there was one time when he was talking about Meghan, and he was stood by Harrods because she had been to Harrods. So he obviously feels some need to give a link between his location and what he's talking about, but he's just going like, just setting up a tripod somewhere in central London. It's completely random where he is. He's talking about a couple that largely lives in America.
The man that wrote the definitive book about Princess Diana has revealed that Harry...
Look at the couple. Not a couple. Look at the couple of people that are on the left. Like, you can't not observe him. It's almost like he wants that kind of stop and turn.
Wrote the definitive book about Princess Diana has revealed that Harry is consumed with fear that his brother William's kids are going to overshadow him, and that jealousy inhabits every cell in his body. Now, it's been reported here that Harry is totally preoccupied.
I don't know if yous are even bothered with him. There's not enough spectacle. It's not clear what he's doing.
With William's children taking the limelight, which explains...
I'm always curious. Like, if we go like 25 minutes in, what's he going to be talking about now? Oh, he's moved the camera.
They settled on a compromise.
Here's what I like. It's kind of tough to like watch him, but for some reason he always makes the videos really long. But he's got nothing to talk about. He has to make 2 or 3 royal family videos a week, and so he starts off and he goes, "Yikes!" and then he gives you something that's going to serve as his headline. But always by like the 25-minute mark, he's just doing impressions.
United States, because the United States has high food standards, and they didn't really want to call it food at all. But they settled on a compromise to call it spread, you see. The only difficulty, Camilla, is that since I enjoyed this spread, this fruit spread concoction...
Why are you doing like a Prince Charles, like an extended Prince Charles dairy spread impression? Just stood at the side of the road.
I've had a terrible diarrhea. And I've got to tell you, Camilla, it's been coming out of all ends, you see. It's been coming from the rear, the derrière, Schnell. It's been coming out of one's mouth. In fact, I'm so sickly, it's been coming out of my rather large jug-like ears, you see. So I'm terribly ill from Meghan's...
Is it a good impression when you make fun of their physical characteristics by having them make fun of their own physical characteristics? It's just a weird thing to... It's like you're free associating, but forgetting you're supposed to be Charles in this scene.
Jam spread.
I think he is improvising. I think he has very, very loose notes. He was a presenter on the radio and then GB News for a long time. And I know a lot of that's just talk radio waffle. I do think he talks around it. It's obvious when he starts getting Charles to go, and my rather large ears. It's like written that down and be like, yeah, what if Charles draws attention to the shape of his own ears?
You see, Camilla? Charles, you fool! You shouldn't eat any of Meghan's food. You
69,000 views.
know it's all poison.
Like, it's just mind-boggling. And I know, this is the world of, like, reactionary news, and look at what Alex Jones gets when he's screaming about Satan going through his eyes. But I don't know, it's just hard to imagine 69,000 people sitting down and watching him just do, like, really vague impressions of the royals.
Right. So can you imagine? Meghan thinks that she sends a huge basket of her horrible food, which, by the way, probably
Dolan's clumping. I think he'd try to clump. I think he thinks he can clump.
past its use-by date, because it's my understanding that the fruit spread has been gathering dust at Netflix HQ, and that members of staff are being encouraged to take that rubbish home for free. So she's sending this unwanted, diseased food.
So he's just doing a long riff on... Camilla said some bread spread to Netflix?
This is Millie Bobby Brown.
Or just simply milk.
It's Millie Bobby
Only
Brown.
thing. And your water.
Am I allowed to show this? Is this allowed to be on the air?
Hey, yikes!
Hey, yikes! We got a new one. Hey, yikes!
Harry's fury. Hey, yikes!
Hey, I love this tie.
Harry's fury at being left out of the royal wedding of the year. I've got the shocking
Bin?
inside story.
Bin in the chat for Bin.
Left out of the royal wedding of the
This Bin's like a car.
year. I've got the shocking inside story from one of the best connected royal journalists in the world. But the bad headlines just keep on coming
Double
as it's
bin,
revealed that
pallet,
Charles
big
dumps
pallet.
Harry. That's it. It is over. Finito. The end. Now, if you thought the prodigal prince being absent from the wedding of his cousin
Triple
Peter
bin.
Phillips was bad, strap
Yeah,
yourselves in because we can reveal
quadruple
that the king is
bin.
refusing to see Harry this summer when he
Quad
arrives
bin.
in the United Kingdom.
Oh, bin
This
bag.
is a wild snub and Harry's worst
bag spotted.
nightmare. So it's a huge setback as we approach the 1-year anniversary of the Clarence House face-to-face summit between the two men. But since that
What's he been talking about?
moment of unity last September, a rare ceasefire in the bitter war between the Sussexes and the royal family,
Where are
I'm
the
told
bins?
that the relationship is now at an all-time low. Even though King Charles is aging in years and is still battling cancer, he's got no interest, keine interessante, in seeing his son. Well, this is a horrible mess and demonstrates that Charles is now falling into line with the wishes of Harry's brother, William, who's going to snub Harry this month when he's in the
Where's
United
the
States for the World
bins?
Cup. You heard me right. Prince William is flying to the United States.
Yeah, he's so in the way. It's not easy to find like central London filming locations that are street side where you're not blocking the way. The pavements aren't always particularly generous, and a lot of them get like an inordinate amount of footfall in the middle of the day.
It's the biggest football tournament in the world, and
He only talks about the Royals now. Very, 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 very rarely he'll like stick the boot in on Rachel Reeves, but it's just pure Royals now.
he's not going to meet Harry, refuses to see him. Now, I've been told
All right, should we watch his comedy? See if we can have a good laugh.
Even the turfs hate me now.
Oh yeah. This is where we were last time. So we've been watching his 15-minute Comedy Unleashed set from uploaded in September 2024. We've been watching it very, very slowly. It's a close reading. I think it's a rich text.
You realise you're his beard, even though he's got a beard. That's ironic, isn't it?
with a
That's lovely.
beard.
And how long have you guys been married? Marilyn doesn't know. She's so mentally scarred. Sitting at home with all those copies of Attitude magazine sitting around. Liza Minnelli sings hits from the musicals on CD. So there's so much division about everything. The trans stuff is. Have we got any trans folk in? Any?
This is the line that I think killed me last time, because he mumbles all of his words and then says trans stuff.
So there's so much division about everything. The trans stuff.
There's so much division about blah 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 trans stuff.
So there's so much division about everything. The trans stuff.
I need to transcribe what he's saying here. So we know very clearly he's saying, let's get a text. There's so much division. Yeah, we know he's saying that. Trans stuff. So what could possibly go in the middle here?
So there's so much division about everything. The trans.
Oh, he says about everything. Yeah? Do we think this is accurate? There's so much division about everything, and then there's probably one more word here. Let's slow it down.
So there's so much division about everything. The trans stuff.
Everything. I'm not hearing a you know. I don't know if I'm hearing it.
Is. So there's so much division about everything that trans.
There's so much division about everything that I don't. How are we hearing? Isn't there? Let's slow it down more.
So there's so much division about everything that trans stuff is.
Maybe there's no word. Maybe there's no word in there. It sounds like there's a word, but I can't hear one.
So much division about everything that trans.
Everything. There's a phonic. There's a syllable there. Everything. Trans stuff. Let's listen again.
So there's so much division about everything that trans stuff.
Yeah, I guess Bird's right. It's just a mumble. It's just a filler sound. Right?
So there's
So much division about everything trans stuff. The thing is about an it's not a mumble. A mumble's when people swallow their words. I don't think he's saying a word, but he's also not a filler either. I think the sentence just breaks in half.
Division about everything that trans stuff is. Have we got any trans folk in?
Any trans folk come to Comedy Unleashed?
Everyone's very nervous about it. Can I just say, there's so many bigots out there, right? Trans women are women. You can tell because they're always.
I think it's fair right now to say, look, I don't know one way or the other, okay? Comedy Unleashed is just a comedy room for saying whatever you want. It's for free speech. And with that in mind, there's no reason in particular to think he's going to say something transphobic. But just a hedge, I think he's probably going to say something transphobic. He probably is saying something transphobic right now, but we haven't got the verb and the subject of the sentence yet. Didn't they ban ABK? I can't remember the full ins and outs of whether or not they banned. The thing is, in comedy, you don't have to ban anyone. You just never rebook them. So you never need to you never ever say to anyone, you're banned. You just don't respond to their emails again. I think they never uploaded the footage of him to their website, even though they usually do for most comics that perform. And I think that's it. I know that ABK went there with an intention to test the idea that they're a free speech comedy club and said some things that were critical about the worldview he believed they tend to hold. And then he's never been invited back, and they never showcased him on the website, and they've hidden any evidence that he performed there. But they also banned the extremely right-wing Will Franken because he made fun of Toby Young, the head of the Free Speech Union. So, like all free speech absolutists, the line only goes so far, and it's actually just around the contours of what they personally believe.
Moaning and are women. You can tell because they're always moaning. And
oh no, it was just misogyny. It was just misogyny. Okay, wow, phew.
Everyone's very nervous about it. Can I just say, there's so many bigots out there, right? Trans women are women.
What's on there? It's 2 Mr. Potatoes. I think maybe a secondary mini rotary phone, a big rotary phone. Maybe another Mr. Potato thing?
You can tell because they're always moaning. And
why is free speech a banned term? I don't know. I found that the other day and just decided to keep it. This is not a free speech channel, and maybe that'll get that across. Oh, look, his joke was so funny, he couldn't keep a straight face. He just cracked under his own amusement, his own joke.
That's an elegant way of pissing off almost everybody, ladies and gentlemen.
No, the audience loved it. It's mostly men in the audience. So why? There's actually a very significant demographic in the room that isn't actually insulted by that joke.
Even the turfs hate me now. But yeah, and also, everything. The reason why we're all so angry is because.
Did he do a leg clap?
That's an elegant way of pissing off almost everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Even the turfs hate me now.
This is a pretty good noise.
Even the turfs hate me now.
It's a thing he really likes to do. You can see it in his news reporting. He likes to go, like his favourite kind of gesture is to be like he's been electrocuted. Yikes! The turfs are gonna get me. It's pretty good.
But yeah, and also, everything. The reason why we're all so angry is because during the pandemic.
The reason why we're all so angry is as well looking at his watch. It's quite a funny gesture to do while setting up that.
Yeah, and also, everything. The reason why we're
all so angry, anyway, the reason why there's like a political polarization in the world, oh yeah, it's 7:15.
Also angry is because during the pandemic, we've basically spent 2.5 years just on our phones, haven't we? Staring at the internet and getting angry.
Oh, I'm being so daft. I was fooled by the oldest trick in the book. He's not looking at his watch. He's checking the notes that he scribbled on the back of his hands. He's doing like the classic comedy notes on the back of the hand thing. Do you know, I always get surprised when people really do that. I feel like that's a thing that's like spread by movies, but also it is real life. People really genuinely do it. I don't know, I'm just always taken aback. Just always taken aback by notes on the back of the hand. It feels mad.
We've basically spent 2.5 years just on our phones, haven't we? Staring at the internet and getting angrier and angrier, right? And everything's all divisive and everything. And
can we just hear him say algier and angrier again?
Staring at the internet and getting angrier and angrier, right? And everything's all divisive and everything. And
everything's an all device and everything. I know how it is. Firstly, I don't think he performs enough to like be so tired of his own material. I bet he performs 2 or 3 times a year, like just pure stand-up comedy. I think he just does it occasionally so that he can maintain that in his CV as something he does. But like he has no interest in the setup to this line. He's got no he's so bored by what he's saying. He's failed to pronounce 2 words.
Staring at the internet and getting angrier and angrier, right? And everything's all divisive and everything. And
I have known several people who've just written jokes on the back of their hand. You're welcome to join them, though.
And also, like, our whole lives are lived online. So do you know, like, most crime and staring at the internet and getting angrier and angrier.
Okay, so we got algier and angrier.
Right, and everything's all divisive and everything. And
everything's all device, everything.
And also, like, our whole lives are lived online. So do you know...
Our whole lives are lived on live. What are you talking about? Do you think he's completely forgotten how this bit goes? Algier and angrier. Our whole lives are lived on live. And it's so device and everything. So good.
On our phones, haven't we? Staring at the internet and getting angrier and angrier, right? And everything's all divisive and everything. And
everything's all device, everything.
And also, like, our whole life.
And also, like, yeah, we're staring at the phone, everything algier. Yeah, it's all device and everything. And also, on top of that thing that I've just said, on top of that completely incoherent statement.
Lives lived on live. So do you know, like, most crime now.
So do you know also. Just a sheer bit of nonsense bridging this to a bit of material he's clearly half forgot.
Now is online, right? This is not really down the street. It's sort of on your phone, on your computer. So I was reading about
LaMDA. I know someone who wrote their set across their entire body and it all formed a poem. But obviously by the time it's all revealed, they're like basically completely nude. Maybe I should write more things on my head and body. There was a Glang show we did where someone's partner got very angry with them because we'd completely written everything that had happened on someone's body in permanent marker.
About online stalking, right? Have you heard about this now? Very serious crime, online stalking, and it's predominantly a male crime. There's 95% males stalking females, right? Online stalking, which I think tells you a lot about the genders, because essentially we've
Which I think tells you a lot about the genders.
got lots of ladies in the audience tonight, don't we? Hello, madam. How are you? What's your? Were you spoken to earlier by our lovely compere?
Yeah, it was Josie.
You're not Kay. No. What's your name? Lana. Let's give it up for lovely Yana.
What's wrong with him tonight? Let's hear this again.
Kay. No. What's your name? Lana. Let's give it up for lovely Yana.
Let's give it a lovely. Let's give it a level for lovely.
No. What's your name? Now let's give it up for lovely Yana, ladies and gentlemen. Yana's in the house. Lovely Yana, ladies. Now let's give it up for lovely Yana, ladies.
Let's give it lovely love for the lovely Lana. Oh man, it's so. Why is he like this today? Do you think he's nervous? I think this has to be nerves. He normally can talk. You know, I don't want to give him too much praises for his ability to form sentences, but I can recognize all the words in his sentences normally.
No, what's your name? Now let's give it up for lovely Yana, ladies and gentlemen. Yana's in the house. Now, Yana, I want to say to you, you are a very a fine woman, a young woman about town, in the prime of life. That's a biological guess, but I just think it could be the lights. The thing is, and the distance. I've got bad eyes. I can't see. Yana, lovely to see you. Yana, if you found out, it's like a little...
He could be geared up, and that would help with the brain that's going too fast and the mouth that can't keep up with it. We'll see if he starts... what's it called when they start going like... They start like gurning a little bit.
Kind of information about... If you found out you had a stalker, what is your reaction? Yana, what do you think? Are you pleased about it? Okay. She's pleased about it, and I'd forgotten that we're in Bethnal Green, and the people here are not well. It's a spiritual desert. The women just stagger around, just looking for anything with a pulse. The thing is, right, Yana might be unusual. Most of the women I know, right, if they found out I had a stalker, they'd be very concerned. As a female reaction normally is, I'm going to call the police, I'm going to get some help, right? Not give him your phone number. I think that's an unusual... But that is...
They do really love that, yeah. I can't account for it. I'm not going to intend to try and understand it.
Predominantly, without wishing to generalise, I would say most women I know, if they found out I had a stalker, they had a stalker, they'd be very concerned. I can now speak for every single bloke in the room, right? Any guy here tonight finds out he's got a stalker, right? His first reaction is, don't panic. Let's see a photo. That is... Do you know what I mean? The guy's like, look, give the girl a chance. Do you know what I mean? She's murdered several people. Babies, for some reason.
There's no point. For some reason, I just have no energy to talk about this one. I've heard this routine before in like open mic nights in the back end of pubs in Yorkshire. It's not correct. There we go.
Focus on killing babies, but she's got lovely eyes. Look at that in the swimsuit. Killing babies, but look at the swimsuit. Dead babies, swimsuit. Dead babies, swimsuit.
This is the thing I love him doing. I love when he closes off like the end of a routine by suddenly, because the thing is he performs normally. He performs normally like with a kind of a deadpan thing. He's like, hello, everyone. Here's my thing. Here's the thing I'm going to say, blah, blah, blah. But then at the end of the routine, he goes really like laughy, smiley, cringy. Ah. And I find it fascinating. He's got like this, you know, here's the thing, here's my opinion, here it is, swimsuit baby, and he goes,
Dead babies, swimsuits.
he doesn't find it. Yeah, exactly. It's a completely there are some people who are laughing along with the things they're saying, and I've known people who do it very, very insincerely. They try to copy people who are being sincere and they're not. But the difference is I hate this guy.
But everything is so digital. Nothing's real anymore. I'm married. I've got 2 kids. I want to have a picture of the family, right? And we've not got any pictures around. It's all just sat in the cloud, isn't it? And it's on your phone. So I've actually printed out a picture.
Oh, he said
got any pictures. I've got.
Did he say digital?
But everything is so digital. Nothing's real anymore.
Nah, he said digital. He said I'll have to let him off. There's no. You'd still spell it correctly.
I've got.
He didn't say digital. I'd love him to. I'd pounce on it and listen to it 7 times, but I don't think he did.
I'm married. I've got 2 kids. I want to have a picture of the family, right? And we've not got any pictures around. It's all just sat in the cloud, isn't it? And it's on your phone. So I've actually printed out a picture and got a photo frame. And I'd forgotten that when you buy a photo frame, right, there's an example family in the photo frame.
They're already laughing.
Do we really have people in our society who are so low in intelligence they don't know the function of a photo frame? And they need some kind of illustration of what a picture might look like inside of it, and a family. So anyway, that's fine. And I'm more to think.
So anyway, that's fine. I like the way he bridges one idea and another one. So anyway, that's fine. Are we really so intellectually bereft as a society we can't conceptualize the function of a photo frame? Anyway, that's fine. I don't actually mind. Moving on.
Picture might look like inside of it, and a family. So anyway, that's fine. And I'm more to think. And I was about to put my picture in, and I decided just to go with the family in the frame.
This is well I've heard before. I'm not saying that he stole it from anyone. I guess I'm more saying it's a premise that's so middle of the road, people happen upon it all the time when they're writing comedy in a hurry.
Because they look like nicer people. They were better people.
That's what I mean, Lambda. There's not something anyone would. It's just something that a dozen people would think of while being like, I need to write a comedy routine.
I prefer that family to my own. I prefer the generic photoshopped family. The AI family are better than mine. They're nicer, they're like better people. The kids were, just that their faces were more correct. Do you know what I mean? My kids are great, but is it too much to ask for some kind of symmetry? Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Just nose in the middle, eyes either side, couple of eyebrows. That's the pipe dream. You know what I mean? So yeah, and I prefer the generic family. The mum was hotter and just less angry, really. Mum was less furious.
This guy has been bright red for like 15 straight minutes. I love him.
Yes.
He like really goes for it. I have to say, as much as I don't agree with the belief system at Comedy Unleashed, the audience is really giving. They're a vocal audience.
I'll finish on this, folks. It's been so nice to see you all, and I'm going to wrap up by telling you the most important thing is after the pandemic and everything, all the division, really, it's like friendship, it's family, all that stuff is.
Should we transcribe this? What's he saying?
It's been so nice to see you all, and I'm going to wrap up by telling you the most important thing is.
The most important thing is
after the pandemic and everything,
after the pandemic and everything,
the division, really, it's like.
All the division, really.
Like friendship, it's family.
It's like friendship, it's like family.
All that stuff is all that matters, right?
All that stuff is all that matters.
Kids, I love my kids.
Kids, I love my kids.
Make some noise if you've got kids. Who's got kids?
Make some noise if you've got kids. Who's got kids?
Just make some noise.
Make some noise.
Just exhausted, poor people.
Oh, okay, it's this joke. Well, I don't. It's not a Dolan stream. We'll be done with him pretty soon. No one likes it when I stream Dolan, so I don't. I wouldn't put this bit up with any particular significance.
But it's lovely, isn't it? And I love my kids. The two of them, right? But I had this
Can I just focus in on this sentence? I love my kids. Two of them.
But it's lovely, isn't it? Right, just exhausted poor people. But it's lovely, isn't it? And I love my kids. The two of them, right?
I love my kids. Two of them.
But I had this insecurity when they were born, right? It's a typical male story, right? The two boys, are they mine? Now, isn't that a terrible thing? In Bethnal Green, it's a sensible question. Something you should take up with your GP.
There's not enough mileage out of Dolan. I think when he does stand-up, I enjoy that a lot more. And I think there's some insane vibe to his Royals reporting. But I can't see us ever wanting to watch a whole one. I don't know if Bethnal Green does have this many stereotypes. I think he's just going to lay into every, you just pretend that where you are is bad.
And, but no, so are they mine? Apparently it's the great insecurity of a male to raise offspring that's not his own, right? But I've been completely reassured they look exactly like me. The little one, George, and the big one, Kareem Abdul Muhammad III.
Yeah, but normally the joke is that they have some sort of physical feature that couldn't possibly have been inherited from you. But if you've called him Kareem Abdul Muhammad III, that's just their name. Like, one of you chose to call him that. So, like, that doesn't mean he's not yours. It means you're probably going out with a Muslim woman or something. Why would it mean the child's not yours? Like, if you've chosen that name and given it to the child. Like, if the child's mixed race but both of you are white, you could be like, well, that seems unlikely from a genetic standpoint. But a name isn't genetic. Very funny to call your second child the third. Maybe the punchline is that actually Mark Dolan's a stage name and his name is Kareem Abdul Muhammad I.
He's 28, still doesn't speak English, but...
Also, not to like really split hairs. No, that would be... No, I'm
he
not
has quite a lot of sex with my wife, but do you know...
The thing is, if you're going to Comedy Unleashed, right, the whole thing about telling an off-color joke is that if you're playing this, you're playing it like, I'm going to tell an off-color joke, it's not politically correct. Oh, fuck, am I going to get heat for it? It doesn't really make sense to play it that way when you've gone to the off-color joke factory, right? If you're going to tell a racist joke and you've gone to racist comedy live at Bethnal Green, why are you there being like, oh God, I'm going to get cancelled for this? No, you've gone to the one place where everyone likes that stuff. What? There's no risk to you here. You should go to another night and say it and then see what fucking happens.
He's always been very needy in that way. I just view it as extreme breastfeeding, and I think...
No, he's not used to doing that. Ever since his like hard right hand turn into like reactionary cultural commentary, he's not been doing stand-up as far as I know. This is just the odd appearance to keep his foot in the door. He hasn't... I don't think he knows how to hold himself on stage with the kind of material he's doing. This is not a set he's worked on. This is him doing a gig once every 2 years or something. I think since he cut up all those PPE, what's personal protective equipment? Since he cut up all those masks in the pandemic, I bet he's done 2.5 gigs. You know?
But yeah, so finally, all I'll say is that if you've got kids or whatever, good luck when in this era of
Good luck when in this era. Just rehearse your set.
So finally, all I'll say is that if you've got kids or whatever.
What stuff was he doing 15 years ago, whatever? That would be a good Dolan stream for another day. But you're right, we should go back to his 2014, 2015 stand-up comedy output.
Good luck when in this era of raising kids, because kids now are not afraid of anything. They're super self-confident, and when they're naughty, like when they've been badly behaved, we try all these things like the naughty step. Do you remember that from the Super Nanny TV show, right? The kid goes on the naughty step, waste of time. They couldn't care less. So what we've done, we've got this amazing idea from America. It's absolutely inspirational. It's called waterboarding. Oh my God! Honestly, they really do believe they're drowning, and in that way, it's a tremendous parenting tool. Now, the sound of running water and Arabic being shouted in a frenzied manner, they literally, boom, rocket up to bed as keen as mustard.
Arabic being shouted in a frenzied manner. What is he referring to the fact that waterboarding was mostly done in places like Abu Ghraib against like Middle Eastern prisoners? But I don't think even then waterboarding is accompanied by Arabic being shouted in a frenzied manner, because the people who speak Arabic are being waterboarded. And why would they gain an association between Arabic being shouted in a frenzied manner and the waterboarding that's given to them? He's talking about his son being a 28-year-old Arab man. But he can't be, right? Because if his son, who's a 28-year-old Arab man, hello, Devil's Muse 17, you followed at a weird time. But if his son is a 28-year-old Arab man, he's associating his own shouting. Like, how is his own voice happening external to him? He's not being scared of his own shouting. What's the Arabic shouting that he's responding to? I agree, none of it makes sense. It's like a Markov chains idea of a joke. Don't ever go at Markov chains. I quite like Markov chains. I genuinely would go to a Markov comedy night. No one else would go to a Markov comedy. No, because I don't think the joke is that Mark Dolan is shouting Arabic. Why? Why would he be shouting Arabic? What? Who's shouting the Arabic in this scenario?
Now, the sound of running water and Arabic being shouted in a frenzied manner.
Now, the sound of running water and Arabic being shouted in a frenzied manner. Who's shouting in Arabic in this scenario? We can go through what are we watching. We're watching Mark Dolan's set at Comedy Unleashed on the 1st of September 2024. We're giving a close reading to it. You would go to a Markov chain comedy night, Gregor, but the fact that you're the one saying it, I think me and you are a different breed, unfortunately. I did see some comedy in like 2015 or something. I saw some comedy inspired by like the cut up techniques of, oh my God, who's the guy? Who's the guy who did the cut up stuff? Frenzied Manner. Burroughs, yeah. I saw some William S. Burroughs comedy, and it was, well, I'll talk about it another time.
And they literally, boom, rocket up to bed as keen as mustard. First sign of trouble, I switch on the Al Jazeera, and they are just...
But why? Why are they associating the Arabic language with being waterboarded? He even said that waterboarding is a technique from the like American shadow anti-terror prison system. So surely he should associate it with American accents and American English. What's the connection between Al Jazeera and the Arabic language and being waterboarded? And also, yeah, he is Arabic, so he should hear Arabic a lot. I guess if he's like, if he's, you know what I mean? I don't understand the logic of the joke. Why would Al Jazeera? It's his dad his English-speaking dad who's waterboarding him. Sorry, I have other interests. I'm sorry. Look, this is not a place of honor, okay?
Fire up George Galloway on YouTube, and it's just... It's been a game changer, ladies and
It doesn't
gentlemen.
make
We
any
were very
sense.
authentic about it. I've got an orange Guantanamo Bay style jumpsuit. My wife has a long Arabian beard, and it's been outstanding. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a thrill to be here. This is an incredible room. It's an incredible club, and you have been a fabulous, amazing audience. And I'll see you all again very soon. You've got an amazing...
You say, I'll see you all again. It's just great to get the last little tag of the sign-off wrong.
I have been a fabulous, amazing audience, and I'll see you all again very soon.
I'll see you all again. Yeah, see you later. Mark Drolan.
Soon, you've got an amazing bill ahead of you. I've been Mark Dolan. Have a great night. Good night. Good night.
He killed it. Bro killed it. All right, what do we? Why close with that? Why go? Why do anything? You know, we can recursively ask questions that start with why until we're dead. I'll see you all again. He probably will in maybe about a year and a half. I genuinely think he doesn't really do comedy, but he wants to be able to say legitimately that I perform comedy, and that he's decided maybe if I do a gig a year, that's enough. And that's fine, in a sense. All right, what should we do now? I wanted to look through the Edinburgh Fringe Guide, but I feel like we've talked about comedy enough through talking about Mark Dolan. So I'm happy to move straight on to Road to Empress 2, if we like. No, Shout, do you want to do that? We can look through the Fringe Guide. I've got it literally right here. And we can pick a letter and just see what's on this year. All right. Enough. More people have said Fringe program. Pick a letter then. Q. Okay, Q it is. Q. I tell you what, it won't last long then. Fringe haters, don't worry. There's not going to be a lot of Q, I think. All right, the comedy section's near the front, I think. Q. No, we can avoid I think. Q. We're still in the A's. C's. God, it takes up a lot of the program, huh? H. J. Hang on. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. No, we're not even there yet. M. P. Q's after P, right? Yeah, it's right after P. All right. Josh Norris clocked. Oh, on R? Hang on. There's barely any. There's two. We've got two. We've got Queer Diary. LGBTQIA plus performers read their real teenage diaries. Angsty poetry, thirsty fanfic, and terrible Tumblr posts. A different lineup of queer performers every night sharing their hilariously cringe but true tales from their coming-of-age era. Often funny, always entertaining. 5 stars from thereviewshub.com. Don't really have a lot to say about that. That's a rough time slot. Where are they? It's not the time slot that I'd put queer confessional diary reading, personally. I think you should go to your queer diary confessional show before dinner. That's what I think. Laughing Horse Bar 50. I don't think I know Bar 50, but it could be anything you could ever imagine given Laughing Horse. All right, what do we got? Quest for the Coolest Fucking Animal, a kids show for adults. Oh, I know Robin Perkins. I also know Rachel Baker. I saw Rachel Baker a couple of weeks ago at Brick Mail Comedy Festival. And I've seen this show in preview at Leicester Comedy Festival. It's very good. A late night, adults only version of the hit kids show Quest for the Coolest Animal. This unfiltered edition dives into the most inappropriate and unethical behaviors in the animal kingdom. So this is the adults version of a kids show. So I guess there's a kids show happening earlier in the day, and then they're doing a naughty version of it. And I guess it's like rude science comedy about, you know, the sexual behavior of ducks, which I think should come with a trigger warning. Well, we did it. We went through it. Thanks, Lambda Girl, for the letter Q. That's done and dusted now. Is there anything there you're particularly excited for? Well, I only got to look at two. I only got to look at two shows. And I'm not going to attend over those. I have nothing critical to say. But I don't think I want to attend either of those because there are many shows at the Fringe. Another letter. I'm not ranking the two shows. L. Hang on? No, the first poll is: do you want another letter or do you want Emperor, Road to Empress? Empress 2 or another letter. I was saying Common Mall L. I think I live a rich and varied life. I don't think I take a lot of L's, actually. Judging by this, I'm duty bound to do another letter, but then we'll do another small letter. What letter won't have a lot of stuff? You couldn't punch someone successfully? Neither could you, Burnzoid. Not under the conditions I was given. A friendly face and no real incentive. There's no L in Vimto? Z. We'll do Z. We'll do Z and then we'll be off. We'll be off somewhere else. Oh, what's the Google Chrome hotkey to bring back a tab you shut? I thought it was Control-Shift-T. Is it not? There's definitely a hotkey to bring back a tab that you got rid of. Oh, I've turned the whole window off now. It is Control-Shift-T. Well, it didn't work for me. I'll tell you now, it didn't work for me. Restore, go to history, open history page. Nothing that I was in is in my history page. Oh, because I was in an incognito window. It was all my fault all along. That's a Common Mall L. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that L. Bells on. Okay, we're back. We're so back. A little bit of burger just to hide that it's that time of the night where I go a bit mad. And then browser captured the new. What are we on? Z? T, U. Now we're in dance. Z. How many shows beginning with Z do you think there'll be? I'm going to say about 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Or, yeah, 6. Okay, we still won't be here long. All right, what do we got? Starting off, we have... Let me zoom in. Zoom was bound to the mouse wheel literally moments ago. Huh? Yeah, zoom. Thank you. Starting off, we have Zachary Rain. With the show is called Comedy. Hang on, this is intriguingly vague and sparse. So the pixelation of the picture is not intentional. For whatever reason, this web browser can't handle it. Ruane, okay. An international solo show, multi-hyphenate comedy genius Zachary Ruane is finally gifting the world with his debut solo show. They're in the Pleasant Courtyard, which is one of the expensive venues. And that's the only sentence you get. Oh, it's one of the Auntie Donnas. Okay. And is that their real name? Are they actually doing a solo show themselves? It's not like they're bringing it as a character. Because they've got to be doing something if they're not going to say, I'm from Auntie Donna. Name recognition alone. Yeah, okay. This, the little web app that powers this is fucked. Oh, look, it's Will BF. I just can't zoom in and out. Which is a thing you'd want to do on this. I'm going to refresh. Wow, I don't want that. Come back. Go back. Okay. And now zoom in. Okay. This is Will BF from... And now it won't zoom in again. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with this app. Mouse wheel zoom in. Or maybe I zoom in with a plus. Or do you want a plus? I'll click the plus at the bottom of the screen. I'll click the plus once. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing so that you don't think that I don't know how to use a computer. At the bottom of this screen, there's a plus, and I'll click it to zoom in, but it doesn't move. I'm Mac AYGG. How's it going? You've been doing your homework? This is Will BFF, who did More Vision, was it last year? Okay, so that was Zachary Roane from Auntie Donna, who'll be there doing a solo show. Then there's... Can I zoom in a bit more? Zara Gladman is, ellipses, Eileen, Cameron's Gap Year fundraiser. Zara Gladman, frankly iconic, says Josie Long, and our alter egos, including West End mum Eileen, bring their 5-star sellout debut show back to the Fringe. 5-star sellout debut show. Now, if it's their debut show, which means it's never happened before, but it's also 5-star and sellout. Now, no one really polices these things. It must have sold out in preview. Monkey Barrel Comedy Cabaret Voltaire. Flawless Stagecraft says 3 weeks on a 9:30. Yeah, character comedy, musical comedy show. Oh, it's only one date. I get a bit confused about what happens when a show that's debuting is 5-star sellout. But I don't, when it comes down to it, I don't know what any of those things mean on a technical level. It's clear to me she did it before and the reviews are from then. Well, no, because it's a debut show. It's her first ever show. But then actually, no, it just means she hasn't written a second show, doesn't it? So you can do your debut show for years. You could do it for 10 years if you want. So you could have a 5-star sellout debut show. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I've gained understanding. It says brings back. Yeah, it was just me being confused. Then we have Zero Fucks, produced by Zero. So this is part of maybe some kind of Zero production company. I could bring my debut show back. I think that's what you're saying. New York City improv comedy team Zero bring their quick wit and disgusting American humor to the Fringe for their debut. This funny, tastefully crass gaggle of friends make up a show on the spot based on an audience suggestion. I feel very bad for Zero Fucks because going to the space is a scam for people that are going to the Fringe for their first time. When I did the Fringe for my first time, I did the space. It was a mistake. These guys, they're from New York. How are they going to know that it's a scam to go to the space? But they are. Oh, well. 10 a.m. Is that 10 a.m.? This is 24-hour clock, right? They're going to have a rough week. That's a shame. Why is it a scam? They're just not very good spaces, but they charge top dollar. I genuinely think their business model is international touring artists haven't been to the Fringe before. They don't help you very much. Some of their spaces are like hidden So they own a hotel. They don't own a hotel, but they take over large elements of a big hotel that's near to the train station. And what you have is like converted utility rooms inside this hotel that are not adequately like signposted to visitors, but also aren't accessible. First time I did the Fringe, we did Space UK, and they gave us a room that was above the highest floor you can get to on the lift, which confused people endlessly. It was like you had to go up like a service stairwell that was separate to like the main continuity of floors. And the people at the space didn't really do very much to like tell the audience how to get to your space. Technically and functionally, you can do the show there, but it's just all a bit too expensive for what it is. There's no real atmosphere, and the rooms are very sterile. Like they're just meanwhile spaces used. Was that hotel on Northbridge? No, it wasn't on one of the bridges. It was, you know, when you're like leaving Waverley and you're heading south, like you're going to go to the Royal Mile and things like that. It's like up on the left. It's one of those big tall buildings up on your left. I can't remember exactly what street it lies on. It was years and years ago last time I was there. Zoe Brownstone, How to Be Happy All the Time. A deeply unserious investigation into hard choices, accidental adulthood, and all the beautiful mistakes we keep making. Hard to say a lot based on that blurb, but you can get the sense of what it is. It's like a confessional storytelling show. Banshee Labyrinth is a wonderful space. It's one of the better spaces there is. 5 to 4 is a really good time. I think they could have a good time. Okay, the zooming is broken again. The zooming just has stopped working. This web app sucks. And I use Chrome on purpose for this because it has the highest compatibility with everything. Accessible view? Yeah, it's accessible. It's not interesting to look at. Oh, please just let me zoom in and read these last two things. I'm sick of navigating this app. Sorry. I'm not going to do this anymore. The app doesn't work well enough. Can I zoom in? You can see me moving the zoom toggle, right? I give up. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to use it. It doesn't work. All right. Should we have a little bit of chrysanthemum soup and die a few times? I haven't even loaded this up. I'm very excited to play a bit of this. Will I update myself to Road to Empress? No, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered being on the tag. No, maybe I can. Maybe I should. Maybe we should bring in some Empress heads. Road to Empress. That's really loud. That's very loud. Okay, and what about a bit of game? Okay. And then what if it was the same size as the screen? Hell yeah, let's go. Let's go. To let your age, I'm 13 or older. I just need to do an end user license agreement. Let's go. Me and Catbox have learned way more about Imperial China since last we played this, so we'll probably be able to make all the right decisions. Here she is. What dynasty is this part of? Yeah, it's the FMV one. Locked? Oh. How do I play? You can't see, but behind chat is a button that says attend court and one that says pray. Oh, yes. Yeah, I think we're still the same person, yeah, because she was a real historical person. She became the first, I think, only Empress of China. Let's go. Yeah, let's get shrunk. Get me out of the way.
盛世女帝，由你亲启。
叫武元照，如今他
Hello, hi, by no way.
明空。
才认还未适应这个新身份。武媚娘，你连生命都学不会。
Okay, we're Wu Meinyang.
活到今日，可不是为了认命。
这是个吃人的地方。
父亲病逝后，你与母亲饱受兄长欺辱，踏入宫门，只为改写命运。
见天子，庸脂非服。
可这里教你的第一课，是昨日的姐妹，今日便能送你上路。
陛下，住手！
If you want, Shaz, if you think that's true.
不可以显山。权力的斗争永不停歇。贵妃的杀机，
你们要干什么？
姨母的诡计，
来了。
至亲手
Oh,
足。
careful about that osmanthus suit.
这里有杀了他的弟弟吗？
你时刻在漩涡中挣扎，
坠入杨淑妃的酒水之中。
可就算行走在深渊之中，
必须死！
亦有暖意。
I'm so hyped for this.
这里岂是你放肆的地方？
这份暖意与你弥足珍贵。
我很心疼，像你这般冰雪聪明，我很是喜欢。他不知道也无妨。
I can turn the game
他
up.
喜欢便好。
而你对他们是真心还是权衡？
我马上要带父皇出征。
Is this
照顾好
okay?
自己。
有我在，你们休想带走媚娘。殿下觉得我是个怎样的人？
你是一个能够独迎风雪，但总是忘记为自己撑伞。
在这场惊心动魄的棋局里，
注定是一场死局。也希望本王去世。
I haven't been learning Mandarin recently. Since I got ill a couple of weeks ago, I haven't taken it up again, but I will.
曾经不可一
There's
世的
more
阴谋
craft on
会皆
Friday.
败于你手。这些年，笼罩在你眼前的阴霾在逐渐散去，可命运却在陡然间发生变曲。羔羊和你分道扬镳，先帝猝然崩逝，你被迫入感业寺为尼，这便是你的结局。
No, that's not how it ends.
没有人知道结局会是什么。武才人，你说是吗？
父祖，再给我一次机会，我想改写自己的命运。
认命？不，新的篇章才刚刚开始。
I think the sword moves with you. I think that's the problem. Oh, okay. So at the very beginning, I get to choose, do I want to try to become an empress in the game called Road to Empress 2, or shall I just quit and do something else? Well, honestly, I've never been much of a striver. You know, it's like Zone said, if something doesn't feel good, just hit the bricks.
西西，我想离开这里，去看一看外面的广阔天地。主子
It's my favorite
带
character.
主子离开深海。
I'm glad she's back in it. She
去的
rules.
地方。若我擅自出逃，感业寺必将上报朝堂。这些年你已经为我付出了太多，我不能再连累你了。可是主子，小水还需要你照顾啊。我要借魏王之力，让他助我离开这里。如今他远在北京，
They all sound a bit
如何能顾及
dubbed
主子大位？
and
魏
cold.
王夺嫡落败，他必然是李治的眼中钉，他不甘也不能安然做他的郡王。的确，如今我义无退路，他救我，我必助他，这笔买卖于他不亏。主子，3日之后，你来取信，帮我送出去吧。是。
So when are we in history? Like 600 or something?
心狠手辣，玩弄人心。你果真和本王是一路人。这簪子也太过招摇了。送你的。本王马上要带父皇出征，希望我回来的时候，你还活着。
明空，该你去打扫大殿了。知道了。
Where I'm going. You think these choices will just lead to the same place? We can't have a split here. We barely had any splits in the main game. Can't have a whole different life.
武元照，别来无恙。
Oh, one of my rivals from the like harem.
怎么，我来看你，很吃惊？你知道是谁把我从牢里放出来的吗？是高阳。 你曾经最好的朋友啊！
不可能。
如若不是高阳，我如何穿得这身上宫衣裳？
Didn't we see this scene in the last
我来
time?
夜寺，好生对待。
只是
Isn't she gonna kill me?
竟然是高阳。如今时过境迁了，你却还对我如此念念不忘。
若非你父亲当年的诬陷，我父亲怎会郁郁含恨而终？你父亲欠我们刘家的，都该由你来还。
当真是疯了，
疯？你的那些痴心妄想，难道不比我更疯吗？
You've never sent Oog. Not even once, not for Albrot's sake.
自生安一别，以立数月。感业寺中虽清苦，尚可度日。若得机缘，愿与君游览自由之天地。
Is Oog a meme?
你是怎么知道的？
来看望好姐妹，自然要先去她的闺房拜访一番了。你放心，你与魏王那些信件，我都替你好好收着了。我竟不知，你与魏王还有这等交情。只可惜，魏王失势，想要落井下石的人势必蠢蠢欲动。今日可是你给了他们铲除魏王的理由。
Oh yeah, we're gonna oust him for sending letters to a nun.
还要拉魏王为你陪葬。
刘希，你到底要做什么？
其实，我也不是不念旧情之人，只要你让我用这支花簪
Oh
在你
no.
额头上刺一朵牡丹，我高兴了，便放了那魏王一条生路。
She's threatening to what? Stab me straight through the skull on my head. Is that the threat being made? Also, I love this loop of her just holding it in front of my eyes with her earrings dangling gently. Does this genuinely loop? In the original game, it would stop after a bit, but if this loops forever, that rules. Oh, is there still Burger? Sorry, that was not meant to be played. What should we do? You know me, I always want to get stabbed in the head with a hairpin. I think I'll just say, you know, you can stab me in the head but leave my face intact. That's my temptation. This loop rules. Do you think they just got the actor just to stand there for ages? Oh, is the ping pong loop that they reverse it afterwards? Is that what you mean by ping pong loop? They play it forwards and then go back. Oh, yes, I see the ping ponging. Yes, that rules. It's how they did the boomerang stuff on Instagram. Well, yeah, that's what I'm asking. I'm saying only hit my intelligence stat, don't hit my charisma stat. No, I see it now. I'm a master of the ping pong loop. All right, don't mess up my face.
刘希，看在我们儿时的交情上，刺牡丹可以，但能不能不要刺脸？
好啊。
You can survive that. That's just the arm.
为了一个男人，
She stabbed a peony into my hand.
我看不起你。
Hey, but you wouldn't die. You don't die from that. You don't die from a peony being carved on the back of your hand. Oh, yeah, okay. You do die from being poisoned, yeah. Another peony. First death. Alright, back we go. Okay. Yeah, I remember. I'm not a big... Who would need tutorialization on Road to Empress 2? Who's playing Road to Empress 2 without knowing these things? I'm so curious about this make or break choice. I assumed I picked the bad one, but I don't know. Let's see how far we can get with it. I mean, I feel like that's the one that helps us survive, right? And I want to see all the deaths, so just give up. Just give up being alive. You always want to kill people, Burnside. Punch this person, kill this person. Am I the only gentle person here? Oof.
为了一个男人
Stabbed in the head and it's poison.
乌元璋，我看不起你。
There's no meaningful difference between these two. They're just the same outcome. You didn't know that the metal that stabbed your head was also poisoned. All right, well, what if we take her out then? Maybe this is the dead end. Oh, yep. I forgot about the quick time events. Got an achievement for that, you know. I like all the shots where it's just her face bearing down on us. You don't normally stab yourself with a hairpin. And I don't wear a hairpin, but I assume you don't normally stab yourself with it. You just wear it in your hair. Oh! Guess that's what it takes to be Empress these days. Blood trickled down. BTD in the chat. It's true, hair is on the head. Didn't look that sharp. I couldn't care less. Just not bothered either way. Yeah, make it look like an assassin did it. Don't just run. I think that's bad. What do people think? Stash, bolt, or make it look like an assassin did it? I think in addition to being small, I need to be not near the text. I think I'll hide up here with I think I'll hide up here with you guys. Okay, one for stash. Ass. I don't know what you mean. Hair is on the head. Not a lot to go on in what you're all saying. I think I'll hide over here. Yeah, there we go. Ass? What do you mean? Oh, assassin. Yeah, make it look like an assassin did it. How do you do that? Why is everyone at the nunnery?
也没有认命。
殿下，
乌元璋，别来无恙。
I don't like this guy.
殿下为何会在此？
我来接你远走。
This is the least appealing of the princes.
乌元璋，跟我走吧，从此远离纷争。天地
Yeah, boat guy.
追寻自由，往后余生。 你再也不会受到任何伤害。我们可以做一对神仙。
Yeah, he's not hot. I just don't like him.
天罡路。
Sometimes it shakes out that way.
是我对你的许诺。
No, I like the other princes. Obviously, one of the princes turned out to be gay, and I begrudgingly moved on. Don't like him. I'm going to kill him. I just think otherwise I'll marry him. You know, he's not hot.
我和魏王也算是有点交集，他应该了解我。
I don't know why I've
我从不相
killed
信
him.
靠握住任何人的手能获得自由，也从不相信靠任何人的许诺能让我得到我想要的。
This game rules. This game's delivering her. We're eating well.
他会问我，我想过怎样的人生，所以你不是他。
He was dust. He was a fucking ghoul. What? Why did he turn into dust?
刚才被这三层环上了，才出现。
Oh, she was blurry. Do you remember how he was blurry to begin with? She got a bit of poison in her. It was all a hallucination.
先处理流血之死。
Yeah, shift the blame and call it the yeah ass.
有刺客！
I think he wasn't real.
救命啊！有刺客！下女官，哎，怎么了？四周有人行刺。刘上公，刘上公他，刘上公怎么了？刘上公他遇刺身亡了。什么？来人，即刻封锁感业寺，将此事禀明大理寺。
是。
I guess I haven't done anything to make it look like it was an assassin. I'm just claiming it.
感业寺乃是皇家。
This is the woman that
居然有
will
人敢行刺。
coercive prison guard, essentially, who has the hots for
刺
us.
客口中说，宫中有贵人想要刘上公的命。
It was
有人
bad
在火上后擦
Sapphism.
地，没被刺客发现，才逃过一劫。先将明空带下去看管，待审。
是。
Yeah, I said make it look like an assassin did it,
下
not
女
just
官即刻将
shout
此事禀
assassin.
明大理寺，感业寺随即被封锁。正当大理寺官差将你押送出寺，欲投入天牢候审之际，你却骤然间吐血而
Yeah, but why did I die? What's killed
致
me?
死。你
Why
终
did I
究
die?
逃出感业寺。
Someone's going, you'll go to prison, so I started coughing up blood and died. Who poisoned me? What hang on, what? Yeah, what? Yeah, exactly. What poisoned me? What poison? No, I'm not. It wasn't the hairpin. I won that fight. Hang on, what are these guys going to say?
吴姐姐，你可逃不出。
生是感业人，
No, I thought it'd be a scene. Well, I don't know why I died. You were cut on the hairpin. Listen to me now. One, no, I wasn't. The hairpin cut me. That's why I saw it. No, you're all wrong. It cut me a bit, but it's not enough to die. Look, I'm going to survive this. That means there's no way I can live, right? That means there's no way I can live because I've been cut already with poison. But you're going to discover that some of
我
these
需在
roots are
前方留
good.
下遗物，让人误以为
But
是
how
最
can I
近
be
清
doing
晨
all
的
of this
树
if I've been poisoned and I'm coughing up blood? Oh, what do we think? Yeah, but look, I'm going to survive. It's giving me meaningful choices. What do we think? Amulet, sun and moon hairpin, or the soaring red kite? I don't think I want the soaring red kite. Personally, I think just it doesn't inspire any joy in me. Sun and moon hairpin, pretty cool. Amulet, more cool. Looks like a chess piece. Lambda Girl wants the kite. I'm going to choose the kite then. Okay, no one cares.
刘上公，刘上公，你这是去哪儿啊？刘上公吗？刘上公，你已经见过明空了，怎么一人在此啊？
Just pretend to be them for longer. Just keep pretending.
刘上公，刘上公为何一人在此啊？
何事？
刘上公，你嫂子怎么了？
你还好意思问？我不过是羞辱那武媚娘几句，她便说要么一起死，还掐我的脖子。疯子！
什么？他竟敢如此大胆！下官定要好好罚他。但上公，那明空毕竟是先帝才人，上公万万不可闹出人命来，否则不好收场。
你来晚了，已经闹出人命了。
什么？
啊！掉下去了。
Push, 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 push.
什么也看不见啊！
Time to push.
这是明空的东西。他毕竟是先帝才人啊！若是宫中追问起来，该如何交代啊？
Yes, push, push. Oh, I've got forever to think about this. What do we think? Confess your identity and ask her to elope, force her to keep your secret, or push her into the well. She wasn't nice. I know we all want Sapphism. No one here wants Sapphism more than me. But she was a coercive lesbian. She was saying, I'm your prison guard, essentially, and I can make your stay here very comfortable if... push her into the well. I think she's not a nice person. I don't want to marry her. Gregor, we know there's a clear delineation between push and punch. People have attempted to blur it, but it's not actually that blurry. I should have punched her into the well, really, in retrospect. I'm going to have to elope with her. Okay, and then I'm going to cough up blood and die, right? It feels like I'm coughing up blood and dying, not because of the poison, but because... You know what I mean? Like, in the logic of the game, what would have happened if I escaped? I'd just die somewhere else. Like, it seems like I'm just dead regardless, right? What did kill me? I'm not convinced it was the poison. Unless one of the routes leads to me finding an antidote. The well is already full. Oh, I couldn't push her in the well because the well was full. All right, let's elope. I think I'm going to get killed here. I don't think they're going to entertain this.
Miko, 怎么是你？夏女官，其实我没有死，掉下去的是刘希。你杀了刘胜公，有些话如果现在不说，就永远都没有机会说了。明空早已倾慕夏女官多时，自从当时婉拒夏女官后
Let's go.
我一直心如刀绞。若夏女官愿意，我们只需演造好刘希的死，从此天涯海角，双宿双飞，可好？
Happy Pride Month, everyone.
你可知杀害五品上宫是何等大罪啊！若夏女官不愿，便即刻海人将我捉拿归案吧。我此生都不愿让你为难。夏女官，
My eyes are dewy.
罢了。
I win! I win! And now the antidote. I feel like I'm dead. No, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. No! She's a bad lesbian. Lesbians don't call the cops on their partners.
刘希的尸体也很快被发现。
若你早些诉说真心，或许你我的结局会不一样。
Toxic Yuri, exactly.
正当大理寺官差
And
将押
then,
送出寺，
for reasons that I think are mysterious, the blood comes out my mouth again.
至死，你终究未能踏出感业寺一步。
It is weird. Thank you, Dragon. She put poison in your mouth. Oh, but then where did the poison come from the other time? I only kissed her in one of the timelines. Force her to keep your secret. I don't know what this is going to look like.
他死前说过，你曾羞辱过他。若释放，本官自会让大理寺知道，他是不堪你的滋扰才投井自尽。
Should I not have done that, Hiberno? You think that's why it's happening?
知道该如何做。
Jump in the well.
上官放心，明空他是自己失足落井的，与上官
Yeah, she was just looking for pennies.
下官自会打点好一切，不会有人知道圣公来过此地。你是个聪明人。宫中很快会发现上官流系失踪，也必然会查到他来过感业寺。杀上宫、违背律令离死，都是死罪。
I'm alive. So, by everyone's logic, I should die of
更无法用。
blood mouth poisoning soon.
他如何离开皇城？或许有个地方可以。
Because my hand has still been scratched.
从前听宫中人说过，蜃楼包罗万象。
BMP in the chat for blood mouth poisoning.
水中月、镜中花也可以铺满而来。这里买个身份，应该不难。
给夫人让个道。夫人初到圣安不知道，我们蜃楼曾打字过一枚赤金牡丹电话，连为贵妃
Don't talk to me about peonies.
此乐人便是今日供贵客们竞价的佳品。
今日这佳品竟然如此平庸。
来人，赐牡丹神器。
是。
He's getting peonies. Oh no! Why? He wasn't hot enough. He seems nice. He seems cold. Everyone seems fucking freezing.
这可是由先帝朝时韦贵妃所创。
The consort way of preciousness. Get in.
笑和哭交织，
Didn't she
血和
die?
泪相映，真是一种诡异又独特的美啊！
在额上作画，实乃一大雅事啊！
我出50斤
，50斤，60斤，60斤，
入宫数日
，70斤，
宫外竟和宫内一样
80斤一次。
烙好的牡丹还不够有意思，我想亲手试试给人烙牡丹。
敢在圣安如此横行无忌，看来蜃楼背后之人定是朝中贵胄，手眼通天。
这位贵客想要什么呀？
听说在蜃楼能买到一切想要的东西。
Marriage pavilion.
那就要看贵客出得起怎样的价了。
我只有匆忙间从感业寺带走的3样物件。
Oh, I discarded one thing. Right. Okay. It's like a survival horror. I need to use my items very carefully. I mean, I could give her the poisoned hairpin, I suppose. No, peonies are so important. I want to keep the amulet. Yeah, but they've already got a peony. They probably don't have the sun and moon hairpin. And the amulet will protect me from against a spell at some point, I think. Someone will shoot a fireball at me and it will deflect. And I go, why did the fireball just deflect? That should have killed me. And then it will show that, and just around my neck, I've been holding the amulet, and then it will glow. And it will go, I'm your dad. So it has to be the hairpin, not because I don't like it, but by like, the others are more important.
这可是最上等难得的
Pivotal choice.
竟然是日月相应的式样。从来簪子都是雕刻俗世花草，这枚可真是特别。没想到贵客竟然有这么好的珍品。现在，贵客可以告诉我，你想要什么了？
我想要
I don't like the
一
princes
个新
anyway.
的身份。
看来贵客是个有故事的人。
这簪子价值连城，买一个身份实在绰绰有余吧。
这些金子，贵客你收。
I think she's just practical. She's just a pragmatist in a difficult
贵
world.
客的新身份。
New wound.
随我来。
So I am wounded. I'm gonna die soon. Where's the antidote?
贵客稍等，我去取你的新身份。
哭，就知道哭，有什么可哭的？贵客们不过是想体验一把当年贵妃赐牡丹于美人额前的风雅，
这些
是多么荣幸的事！
都是蜃楼豢养的乐人。
下一个，由谁去呢？ 就你了。哦，这倒是个稀罕物。
这项链看上去似曾相识。不，是玉儿的项链。你找到它了？它在哪儿？
Oh, it's Consort Way's Estranged daughter.
我的眼睛，孝敬我吧。我今日就不送你去。
I miss the consort of preciousness in her
这
dog.
是娘亲留给我的，你拿走了，娘亲就找不到我了。她就是韦贵妃的女儿。
Is Consort Way alive? Does anyone remember?
浪牡丹，
我愿意背浪牡丹，求求你不要拿走。
那我只能将你即刻送去。老身
Yeah, I thought she
希望也
would.
能在贵客那儿铺买到一个好价钱。
Yeah, I gotta save the daughter. That's our last link to Consort Way.
慢着，
Pomeranian fell in a well.
他我要了，还有其他人我都要了。
你们可真是命好啊！往后这位姑娘也是你们的主子了。
真是老天最好了，谢谢姐姐。看着面纱，我根本不敢想。你叫什么名字啊？
哎呦，贵客说笑了，这样低贱的人哪儿来的名字？他是我们蜃楼第6个乐师，我们叫
What? The lower classes don't even have
贵客
names.
久等，户籍和通行证都在这里。
They don't even have names.
韦令月，这名字韦氏也算是门阀贵姓，虽然如今没落了，但也算是大姓。这难道是？你们都下去吧。
都出去吧。走，随我去拿你们的卖身契。
这是不是他的身份？
贵客放心用，这类人卖给了蜃楼，自然是该物尽其用的。他们根本不知道自己的来路。不过
Marriage Pavilion.
有时候不知道也
What
好，
kind of a place actually is this? Like an auction house?
会很痛苦的。
I don't actually understand. It's a brothel or
可我不觉得。
sex trafficking or
贵客
something?
慢走。
Oh, oh, my hand wound. My hand wound is real. Marriage? But men were bidding on it. Men couldn't marry each other, could they? Not that I'm against it.
姐姐，姐姐，
I really was poisoned. You were all right. Media literacy is alive and well. Yeah, you were right. Rare Morley L, as Albrock would say.
回去吧，别再一错再错了。新的世界根本不存在。
乌元璋，
是你。
当年的你，口口声声说见天子，庸之非福。你这一路走来，打败了很多人，可你得到你期待的结果了吗？如今你犯下命案，被缉拿，不过早晚。
I think I've already committed
得到
murder.
新身份就能逃脱吗？痴人说梦。这世间的规则，从来都不是为你我书写的。这簪子上的毒，是我作为你最好的朋友送给你最后的祝福。你身中剧毒，命不久矣，苦苦挣扎又有何用？放弃吧，我的好元璋，前方根本就没有路了。
Yeah, the wig doesn't fit too well.
永坠无间。
The strange shape. Let's just fall into the abyss, you know? It's getting late.
你我之间就该永远的纠缠下去，死亡也不该是你我的终点。
Oh, I'm dead? Against the... Is that like a good ending? We did a good ending. I lived in heaven with my enemy. I went up to one of the divine realms. I became a Taoist transcendent. No, we're not lesbians. I know it's Pride Month, but sometimes women are just friends.
滚！我此生绝不会放弃。
I just can't see themselves becoming lovers. I think they're more than friends. Yeah, they're enemies. Mask. Elusive love interest with Master of Marriage Pavilion with a Pomeranian. Chirpy. Let's fucking go.
多谢楼主相救。
不知我该怎么称呼姑娘？感业寺的明空，还是武才人？
This guy knows his stuff, huh? Question for the soul. So I kind of fancy going back. I can't get my head around. Okay, I got to the end of the chapter in one piece. So the marriage pavilion is canon. But what happens if right at the very beginning you choose the different thing? Oh, this isn't it. What am I thinking of then? No, I don't even want to imagine living with you. I hate you. Where's Previs storyline? Wasn't there a choice right at the very beginning of all chapters? Prologue, make or break choice. What happens if I choose the other choice at the very beginning? Return to the palace and claw to the top. I thought this would be the game. I thought I was going the wrong way.
我想回宫，从头来过。主子回宫，西西，定助主子一臂之力。谢谢你，西西。可如今他登上帝位，千头万绪，政务繁杂，而我这个曾经的故人，我想赌一赌。
I'm gonna have to die, aren't I? They can't have two plots.
主子，不久后便是先帝的继承，陛下也会来。
I love Shixin. I think Shixin's the best character that's currently alive.
是最好的时机。
Kairen Wei. No, it wasn't Kairen, was she? Consort Wei of Preciousness was my favorite character.
帮我留意宫中局势。是。 对伞凝眸，续万分。行销故里，为思君。不信比来。
I have to die.
开箱燕去，纠缠。
It's the prince I like the most, but I would say overall my opinion of him is negative.
明空，该你去打扫大殿了。
知道了。
The princes really mess me around, you know. I think so. Yeah, I think this is poo painting. Yeah, but he must have become the emperor, and now I'm gonna die, of course.
武元照，别来无恙。
Yeah, we know this. We've been here. We know this.
怎么？
Oh, this is different. I don't remember fire. The best of a bad bunch, yeah. Yeah, bring back the gay prince. He didn't die though, did he? He might still be around.
柔熙，怎么？我来看你，很吃惊。你知道是谁把我从牢里放出来的吗？
I'm waiting for the Lloyd's horse to appear.
你曾经最好的朋友啊。
The Lloyd's horse would go hard.
不可能！如若不是高阳，我如何穿得这身上宫衣裳？他特命我来感业寺，好生对待你。
这是他们欺辱我的，竟然是高阳。如今时过境迁了，你却还对我如此念念不忘。
若非你父亲当年的诬陷，我父亲怎会郁郁含恨而终？你父亲欠我们刘家的， 都该由你。
I don't remember what she's
他
referring
真是
to.
疯了。
疯？你的那些痴心妄想，难道不比我更疯？
你在胡言乱语些什么？
站住！这个东西你应该很熟悉吧？
This scene's playing out differently, right? Yeah. We didn't have an umbrella that caught fire before or got kicked down the
想看的
stairs.
诗真是情意满满，就这么付之一句，可真是叫人心疼。
Too shame.
你知道你送出去的那些信为什么没有回音吗？因为那些信都跟这把伞一样，灰飞烟灭了。一个痴心妄想、不清楚自己身份的可怜人，我要看着你被陛下忘记、厌弃。
These ones can. I think they're made of reeds and something like that.
哦，对了，陛下不日便要来此，我会告诉下女官，明空欲闭关修行10日，你妄想见到任何你想见之人。今晚也要做个好。
This is a lot less devious than last time. Last time she came with an intent to stab me in the head. Now she's just like, I'm going to put you in secluded meditation.
再给我一次机会，我想改写自己的命运。
I like this Buddha. He reminds me of Duplo. Why didn't she stab me?
陛下驾到！
陛下，
Oh, I don't like him. I don't like him.
臣参见陛下。陛下，这点钱。
下女官有令，一定要把他看好了。
Okay, we can bust through. We can slip the hairpin to the nun. Or we could scream Lizzie's name. I like melodrama, so I think we should just scream his name. Hello, King of Time. We're on Road to Empress 2. Bust through? Yeah, you're right. Yeah. We need to take the most direct approach. Bust.
陛下，下女官有令，明空在此地清修，哪里都不能去。
Well, she doesn't look like she's meditating.
逐渐降临，陛下的车仗离开了感业寺。
Alright, I want to go with my idea, which is screaming. It wasn't busting, was it? Gingerly opening the doors.
你要干什么？
被人抛弃的可怜虫，在你最失魂落魄的时候杀了你，
We got peonies.
才会永远记得。
That's a peony. I'm gonna scream. Why would she pass the hairpin on? But I've already screamed. I already have screamed.
陛下，别急，打我的底下，家儿在这里，家儿在这里啊！陛下，
He kicked the door in. Hell yeah, let's fucking go.
理智出现的那一刻，你知道，你赌赢了。
你们就是这样对他的？
陛下饶命啊！
趁朕还未处置你们，赶紧滚！
Let's go. Little bit of privacy. We're hitting like a whole new storyline. Road to Empress 2 is good. Greet him calmly or greet him with restrained grievance. I don't know. I think restrained grievance? Calm. All right, I'll do it calm.
明空，见过陛下，陛下怎么来了？
It's too late. We're calm now. Affinity +1.
你受苦了。
我没事。倒是陛下来找赵儿，会不会对陛下不利？
Let's go. Is he the emperor now?
居然还在担心。
Are we hugging the emperor?
写了好多信，可一直没有收到你的回应。我以为你不愿再与我有牵扯。
Embrace, embrace. I'd never turn down a hug from the emperor.
陛下心里一直都有。
Our decisiveness has gone up.
赵儿好高兴。
We're gonna die now. This is too early to hug the emperor.
我好想你。
This is we're gonna die.
我每天都在想
We can't be hugging the emperor this early.
你怎么还瘦了，还憔悴了？
The road to emperor is just a little desire path.
我这就接你回宫，封你为昭仪。
陛下，
What is Zhao Yi?
陛下要即刻带我回宫。
I need to understand what that
封我为九品之
means.
首的昭仪。
Head of the concubines. Yeah, great. Yeah, yeah, great. Make me head of the concubines.
这儿丁陛下的。
你身为
I've
先帝
won.
才人，
Well, I'm not the
迷
emperor.
之身，在世人眼
Things
里
are，going pretty well.
你
I've
和
got to
李治
die
的这
now.
段爱恋，是极度悖逆礼法的惊世骇俗之举。以长孙太尉为首的3省重臣全部反对，联合驳回了李治的封妃诏书。
吾氏乃先帝才人，若陛下将其封为昭仪，便是和先帝陷于巨忧之乱，请陛下收回臣命。
请陛下收回成命。
I'd like it to be explained why that's so bad. Like, what's the objection? You're not allowed to carry a harem forward. Right. Just need a whole new, fresh harem. She never fucked his dad. No, she never did. She never did. I think we had the option to, and we turned it down. All right. I'm enjoying this, but I think it's time to close up shop. Had a nice time. I think we had a varied stream. I'm hoping to maybe get back to this in dribs and drabs on Wednesdays. Most concubines don't even get to fuck the emperor. I think to be close to power, I'd fuck the emperor. Well, thanks you guys. You know, there's no stream without an audience. You know, it would just be me and my own saying, I did punch Killian, it was real. And I'm glad I don't have to do that. I've got people who can come on a call and say, no, it was a biphasic punch. You're a liar. you're a liar, you're a cheat. And I go, no, be kind to me. You know, without you guys making that a reality, it just wouldn't be possible. So I thank you all. Punch, Dolan, Fringe, Road to Empress 2. You know, yeah, it's varied. I think that was a pretty varied stream. Now let me out of here. Let me go. Let me out. All right, everyone. Thank you for your assistance. I hope to see you all soon. Friday, we've got Morecraft coming again. This Sunday is the first ever live normal game. I'm quite excited for it. I don't want to give too much away, and I know a lot of you can't even attend, but I will tell you one of the central ideas of live normal game is that while normal game is happening, a completely separate physical game is also going to be going on. And then there are two competing non-overlapping games happening at the same time that are sort of in conflict. And if it's me and Ava putting this show together, and if we can make it work, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I hope it can become a regular thing because it's so varied. I think it should just be fun to play on and iterate on. I'm making some new rounds and tweaking some of the old rounds. I mean, mostly I'm refactoring and I just need like the WebSocket architecture to be really robust. So I'm doing the very boring, like the engineering foundational work. Will it definitely not break? I can never ever say that it will definitely not break because I think the issue is always that someone will do something in an order that I didn't expect or I didn't predict. But it is built in such a way that if ever anything crashes, it's easy to restart and get going because the game state is always pushed to an external database so that if the server breaks while it's live, you restart and reload and we're exactly where we are. Everyone has the same amount of points. But if I can make the two games concept work, or I should say me and Ava can make it work, I think it could be really good fun. I'm hoping it's not too esoteric for people because I would like to capture some of the pub quiz crowd and make something that feels like it can be understood by people who aren't in the bowels of alternative comedy. Well, wish me luck. I'll see some of you on Sunday, I hope. Be well, everyone. Enjoy the remainder of your Wednesday, what little sliver you can squeeze out of it. And I'll see you all soon. If you haven't already, join the Discord. Is this bowels? It's pretty deep in the guts. Yeah. One day I aim for the lungs. Good night, everyone. This is a song. Listen, I think the timbre of Moorvision is very summed up by Dracula holding his favourite cat on the Avanti West Coast. It's not summed up by me jamming on your shaft with a hammer. Okay, there's a Venn diagrams that shouldn't touch. I was supposed to come back angry after that.
Yeah, I was supposed to come back angry.
I couldn't get my face together.
I was supposed to come back with
No, piss, Sean. When, piss, horse, Yakult, balanced, blanking, piss, pissing, Beyblade.